Hey guys, Vesper here, and I just got back from my vacation from New Tristram. So I just want to touch base with you guys on what's going on with VesperArcade, and if I'll be doing the Cross Tekken tutorial. So ever since Street Fighter Cross Tekken was released, I was paying very close attention to the news. And in case you guys have been living under a rock, there was a huge amount of blowback from Capcom with their DLC fiasco, and if people interpret it as it being bad or good, business practice, and whatnot. And for me personally, I don't really care. Like, bad PR moves is Capcom's MO as far as I'm concerned, so it doesn't really affect me. What does affect me though is how the metagame of Street Fighter Cross Tekken turned out. From a competitive standpoint, it's been doing very, very poorly because many tournament organizers do not want to use the gem system. People don't agree with the gem system. But at the same time, the game is designed for the gem system. So because of that, we're having an insane amount of timeouts. But we don't really know if gems will fix the timeout problem. The main issue with gems for tournaments in the first place was that they're extremely time consuming for everyone to choose the gems, right? It would just take forever per match to do it. Then Capcom releases a DLC for people to allow you to choose gems quickly, but then people still refuse to use the gems even after that. Then the final nail in the coffin was basically Capcom releasing these insane absolute guard gems and stuff that just literally take away what makes Street Fighter Street Fighter. There's more to it than that. Like I said, it's the metagame. To summarize, there's an absurd amount of frame advantage on a lot of particular moves, such as standing light punches. Everyone knows with the Ryu and Relentless spam, quote unquote. There's just too much frame advantage. Ryu's donkey kick, for example, it's just insane the amount of abuse you can put in the game. A lot of the early characters in development, such as Ryu and Kazuya, seem very finished, whereas a lot of the other characters from the Tekken cast or later cast seem very unfinished. There's a lot of moves that are unpolished. One example is with Julia. She has many moves that she dashes forward, and there's a mix-up game between hitting high and baiting people for throwing, yet she doesn't have a command throw at all. It's like all these pieces missing from the puzzle. It's just a very small example. And the fact that the stages are so wide, so it caters for people for being very turtley and running away and drawing out the timer, which, by the way, is real life time. It's literally 1:39 seconds. And then even if you knock someone down in the corner, they're able to roll, which you cannot punish them for it. But like I said, maybe Capcom anticipated that the gems would make the matches faster, but then what if people were equipping all defensive gems, fortifying gems, or life-gaining gems? Would that not make the match even longer than it already is? Or maybe Capcom anticipated that since you only have to kill off one character, the matches would be shorter that way. But then that doesn't really make sense, because if you guys haven't noticed, the amount of the speed that your life regenerates in that game when your character is taken out is insanely fast. So that draws it out as well. And then there's the animations of the game as well. There's throwing animations, the tagging animations, the Pandora animations, and it's silly because the timer still runs during these animations, and it's just like everything just takes time. There's no reason for the timer to still be running during these animations, like especially Pandora. You have 10 seconds left of the time on the timer, and then you activate Pandora, and it's like half the timer is already out. It's so silly. There's a saying that everyone says that once there's 30 seconds on the clock, and you don't have the life lead, if you're not going after them like balls to the wall, you're gonna lose the round. And as silly as it sounds, it's most of it is true. And even from a casual standpoint of the game, there's been a lot of blowback as well. Like I said, the DLC characters already be on the disc. Everybody knows about that. That's debatable whether that's, people agree with that or not. But then again, there's other things like the online mode, the sound issues everybody was having, not being able to play with your friend online together on the Xbox version of the game. What else was there? Oh yeah, a bunch of infinites were found on the first week. And you know, all this stuff can be avoided with a beta test. Like, I don't understand why Capcom just does not make a beta test for the games. You know, they think so much from a financial standpoint, but they don't understand like that there's a reason why people make betas for the game, especially very, very competitive games that require very, very strong balancing. Anyways, I can go on forever about this, and I don't really want to make this video all about me just bashing Cross Tekken or whatever. Just letting you guys know how the blowback has been with the game. The game needs a lot of work, and right now, from the competitive side, it's on life support. And all the questions given to Capcom about fixing certain things that need to be fixed with the game have all been answered cryptically, and we don't know if it's going to happen. And because of that, it's been very, very detrimental to my tutorial. Because I don't know what's going to be added, I don't know what's going to be removed, and it's going to be revised so many times. You know, like I make my tutorial, all of a sudden Super Street Fighter Cross Tekken comes out with, you know, all these new characters, and then the metagame changes. You know, it's just very, very troublesome. When I made the Street Fighter 4 tutorial, that was already when Super Street Fighter 4 came out. You know, the metagame has already been, you know, sustained, and I can teach things without worrying about things being removed or added. So I think the best thing to do right now is to just chill and wait and see how it pans out. And I know a lot of people have been requesting me to do tutorials for other fighting games, but to be honest, like, I don't feel comfortable teaching a fighting game that I do not feel that I'm 100% knowledgeable in. So I hope that most of you guys respect my decision, and I apologize to anybody that I've disappointed. And before I close the topic on Street Fighter, I just want to let you guys know that I'm going to be closing the store soon for the Street Fighter 4 DVDs. They've been up for a while, but I'm finally just going to close it down. If there's anyone that still wants to purchase the DVDs, I'll have it up for just a couple more weeks. I'll be doing a 50% off sale, but you can only buy the entire set. That's the only thing I'm going to have available. And you guys can check my website for updates on that, which should be updated shortly. So now that I'm taking a break, I get to catch up on all these good games that I'm missing out on. And I don't know if you guys know, but my YouTube channel didn't start out with Street Fighter. I did a lot of other games. I played a lot of arcade games and stuff. So I'm really excited for Diablo 3, which is coming out in literally like 2 days right from now. So I'm really excited, and I hope a lot of you guys are going to be playing it too. I was lucky to have access to the closed beta, so there's a lot of fun things I did. Maybe I'll release a couple of videos of some of the things I found out. And yeah, pretty excited. If anyone's going to be playing Diablo 3, which is probably everybody, make sure you guys add me up. My Battletech is VesperArcade. Maybe we can play together.